What up, fam squad? It's been a while since I've done one of these vlogs, and I'm sorry. The projects have still been going on, but the filming has not been, because that's work, more work than you have to do when you're already working, and we'll work on it. How about this? We'll work on making more videos. Cool. So, as you may have already seen, Zach's Volvo is doing great-ish. We'll talk about it. So if you just go back to his other video, he's got electrical issues. More than that, he's got transmission problems, lots of slip. But I won't talk about it too much because he already has. So what am I doing? The bike. All right, so I got the title in recently, and I got way more motivated to actually get it up and running and go ride it. So I built the rear wheel, the new rear wheel for it, because the one that came with it was undersized. So I built a new one and replaced the bearings in both wheels. Today that was kind of a nightmare because the first bearing took like 20 minutes to get out, and once that one came out, well, it all just kind of fell together. Like the rest of the bearings came out, everything just went back in. It was easy. And then I assembled the hubs, mounted the rear tire. The front I already had that done, and then balanced the rear wheel. I had already laced the rear wheel and trued it, so that was good. And then replaced the sprockets and the chain, and then took it on its second maiden voyage. Well, maiden voyage with the new stuff on it, and it was great. It rides so much better with factory size wheels, factory size tires, and good tires too. The tires that I went with are Michelin Pilot Actives. I didn't get, the Cafe Racer style tire. I got just good tires. They're a much softer compound, similar to what you would put on, say, a sport bike. And, with that, they're softer, they heat up much quicker, and there's just so much more grip. The bike is so much more fun to ride now. So, it's ready to be registered, so I can now take it to work and take it to the grocery store and just daily ride it. So that's going to happen. Speaking of daily riding, daily driving, my current daily is the CRX. Recently, you may have seen it in a previous video, I put a smaller turbo on it, TD04H13T. The turbo that comes off of an EJ20, the 2002 Subaru WRX. So it spools up much sooner. It makes a broader power curve. And I've retuned it since then, and I'm now making more horsepower and more torque than I was on the other two turbos. That's not to say the other two turbos couldn't make a lot more power. That's just to say that I'm now making more power with the tune that I did. So I'm making 237 at the wheels and 216 pound-feet of torque. That's the number that creates a problem, the torque number. The clutch that's in the car is an Exetti Stage 1 clutch, and it's rated to the tune of 186 pound-feet of torque, I think it is. So there are slip issues. And those slip issues were exacerbated once I put slicks on the car and went and autocrossed it. So much clutch slip, as well as tire slip, because it has an open diff. And actually, you know what? Let's go to that autocross video real quick, just so you can kind of see it. Some of the issues I was having through the corners that initially I thought were clutch slip, and it wasn't. It was the inside front wheel was actually coming off the ground as I was going through a corner. And I didn't really realize this, but after somebody had told me after, you know, this, it was by the second heat, someone mentioned it. I was like, oh, that totally makes sense as to why I'm mashing the gas and the car's not pulling through the corner. It's just, you know, I'm just carrying momentum through the corner and lifting the inside front wheel off the ground because the slicks that are on the car will allow it to do that. And with an open diff, well, you do the math, you can kind of figure out what's going on there. In the meantime, the clutch has to be replaced with something better. And I have that something better now. So, this is a competition clutch, stage 4 clutch. What does that mean? Well, that means this clutch can handle 275 pound-feet of torque. Now, the other problem I was having at Autocross in the CRX is the brakes just aren't good. Now, they didn't really have to be good when the car rolled out of the factory. They just had to stop the car. You know, this just a tick over 2,000 pound car with 92 crank horsepower didn't really need a whole lot of braking power. But it does when you're making 237 and you have slicks and you're trying to do autocross. Then you need more brakes. So before the actual event started, I went off to a little area and I tried to lock up the wheels with the slicks on, mind you, and I couldn't. I didn't even have the tires heated up. So cold tires on sealed asphalt, and the car could still not lock up the brakes. So you know, the brakes just aren't good for that. So I'm doing a brake upgrade, and I'm going to do a brake swap from the DA Integra. So that means the model years 90 to 93 Acura Integra, I'm taking the brakes off of that and putting it on the CRX. That means the larger front rotors, bigger calipers for more clamping force, and I'm going from drum brakes in the rear to rotors in the back. And I'm going to upgrade the pad compound. I haven't finalized what I'm going to use for that yet, as well as using or swapping out to stainless steel brake lines for a better pedal feel, and getting the DA Integra master cylinder as well as its proportioning valve. So full brake overhaul, should do great. I'm actually going to take my car over to Disco Dave's house. And if you don't know Disco Dave, well, we actually did a video interview on him a while ago, but you'll get to see him again. He claims that he can do this clutch job in 2 hours. I can do it in an afternoon by myself, but hey, 2 hours? Cool. I'll roll over to his house and we'll see how quickly we can get it done. And while I'm there, I'll show you yet another project that I'm involved in. Again, his CRX that we did an interview on, well, it's kind of going through an overhaul right now, but we'll talk about that later. So that's it for now. Stay tuned for more stuff. I'm going to work on getting more content out. So yeah, cool. That's it. See ya.